Kritik, nice to have you, man. Just so that everybody knows who Kritik is a successful and compassionate individual who has founded many organizations such as Streetbark, an organization dedicated to the welfare of stray dogs, feeding over 12,000 animals in its first year. He has also founded the Izhaar Foundation, which helps different social issues, including menstrual hygiene and inspiring theater workshops for unprivileged students. He is a founding member of India's largest student-run organization, Bifrost, and is currently the director of Center of Excellence and secretary of Bifrost. Kritik is also the vice president of the Helping Hand NGO, India's largest student-led NGO, which conducts multiple projects to address social issues. Kritik, it's wonderful to have you, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. Hi everyone, kya hal? I'm Kritik Katsuri. I'm 17 years old right now. I'm still a high school student. I'm in 12th grade right now. And yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Kritik. You're in your last year of high school. How does that feel,
Yeah,
man? Because I know for sure when I was in my last year of high school, all the experiences, all the memories, it was definitely a big thing to look at. How do you feel right now?
it's to be very honest, it's a very surreal feeling, because especially with the COVID-19 happening, 2 years of my life, and some people say these are like the two primary years, 11th and my 10th grade. They were just taken away, and everything was online. So a lot
Yes.
happened in those 2 years, but now all of a sudden, just 1 year of actual going to school, doing offline examination, having fun, bunking classes, and it's just over all of a sudden ki 31st ko it's my last examination of my uh, board.
Right.
It's my last board
Yeah.
examination, and it's just unreal to feel ki the bell which will be
Uh,
rung at the 3 hour mark will might be the last bell I ever hear in school. Obviously college
yeah.
वगैरह whatever will happen, but
Uh,
of course it's exciting, but to be very honest I believe it's also very scary, because
mm,
till 12th grade your life was planned, what to do, what not to do. The toughest decision I had to make was which stream I had to choose after 10th, right? And now the 12th grade is getting over. Now there will be colleges and a newer group of people you'll be interacting with, and it's overall it's a very surreal feeling. It's a very scary feeling, to be honest.
it's a bittersweet experience, that's for sure. How do you think you have evolved from beginning of high school to now? How do you say, let's say you started ninth grade with a mindset, and how do you think you have changed in terms of your mindset right now?
When I was in ninth grade, this is something which has actually changed the way I am, because if to be very honest, I'm very grateful for lockdown, because lockdown played a huge role in changing where I was to where I am. And I'm not talking about starting Streetbark or being linked with Bifrost or whatever. Because when I was in ninth grade, I still remember my weight was, like I just told you before the actual recording, my weight was 103 kgs. I was excessively overweight. Of course, I was some sort of an extrovert. I used to go. I had a group of friends. I used to go and have fun. But deep down, obviously, I was very insecure about my weight. So in the start of lockdown, one day I was at my grandparents' house. I just saw myself in the mirror, and it was a huge mirror, and I was not fitting in the mirror, right? So I felt bad. So that's when I started working on myself. In 2 months, I was able to reduce about 38 kgs, which isn't a healthy
Wow.
thing to do. Don't
Yeah.
lose 20 kgs in 1 month. It's not healthy. But at the time, I didn't know which is what is healthy, what is not healthy. I just wanted to lose the weight. So once I actually reduced the weight, I became a bit more social, right? I joined my school's Interact Club, where I
Yeah.
actually started doing any sort of social service acts, etc. I was always fond of acting. That's why I started the Izhaar Foundation. I loved acting, and I think one of the things that just flipped the switch in me was seeing myself that day, because once I reduced my weight, right, once I was 40 kilograms lighter, uh, I felt very powerful, because I thought, if I could reduce 40 kgs in this time, if
Mm-hmm.
someone who used to look like this, which was huge,
Yeah,
can go like, can go through that sort
yeah,
of
yeah,
transaction, I could do anything. So
definitely.
that's how I started my entire journey.
Yeah, that's definitely an inspiring story for many people because to lose over 38 kilos, it's not a big thing. It's a big thing. Sorry, it's
Yeah.
definitely a goal that many people can't achieve. Uh, Kritik, what are your plans after high school? Are you planning to go to college? What are your plans after high school?
Okay, that's a question which I tend to avoid whenever anyone asks me, because, to be very honest, when I started focusing on my extracurricular activities, I'm not a very studious guy, right? I can study, but throughout my entire school life, I've only just studied before the night of the exam. When I don't used to touch, I was just focused elsewhere, either street bar or just having fun or doing something else, because I don't like studying that much, right? So
Yeah,
I went and I saw a student counselor, and after seeing my CV and the things I've done in my extra curriculum, everyone recommended me to go abroad for my further studies, because that's where they actually prefer you doing something out of the academics. And I was
right.
actually very keen towards going outside, either Germany or Canada or some place outside, but India, where they actually will consider my portfolio and appreciate it, rather than just going through my marks. But this is a decision I just took recently. I'll be staying in India for my college, because now I'm very attached to especially Streetbark, and now I want to focus on growing it as well. So I'll be giving the entrances, obviously, for the Indian colleges, and we'll see where that brings me. But
Yeah,
for college, now I'll be staying in India.
yeah. Nonetheless, I hope you nothing but the best, man.
Thanks.
You have
Very
you
honestly.
have joined. I have looked at your LinkedIn page, and you have did summer school at ITM Group. Can you
Yeah.
talk to us for the people who don't know what ITM Group is? Can you tell us what it is? How was your experience? What has ITM taught you?
Okay, perfect. So basically, the Pole University. Uh,
Yeah,
there's a university in India, the Pole University. A few recently, I think, they started this year itself. Our school was
yeah,
collaborating with a few universities outside to provide some summer school, some sort of interactiveness or something, some basically like a very fun environment in our
fun.
school. So
Yeah,
during our summer holidays, it was like a week long course where I opted for VFX, because why not, right?
yeah,
So I remember we were in like our summer holidays were about to start, and this message just popped up. And at first we weren't going to do it. We're like, it'll be a waste of time, whatever. But then it clicked. This is the last year of our school, right?
yeah,
So we wanted to give as much as we could. So we opted for it, and it was quite fun. It was like a week long course where they taught us how to. I'm also very much into uh, we'll call it like something regarding movies, right? I love to
mm,
shoot. I love videography. I love being in front of the camera. So
yeah,
there was a class about editing, which I enjoyed the most, where they actually told us how to use the green screen. And I remember we ended up making a short Jurassic Park kind movie. It was like a 2 minute long movie, and everyone loved it. If you want, I'll share you like after. You'll enjoy it.
that's
I'm pretty.
yeah. So yeah, that's really good. Moving on. Uh, so street bark. Let's talk about street bark, right?
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
many students they don't one day go and be like, let's go and save the stray dogs or the animals. How did you come about this idea? You're definitely one of the very few teenagers, like, students out there who has come up with these ideas. Tell me about a street book. Street book.
Okay, so my journey started when I was in 11th. I was in 10th. Yeah, I was in 10th. I had joined the Interact Club. It's a Rotary sponsored club, which almost every school has. And I was working day and night, and I was aiming to be the president of that club. Right. I joined
Mm,
Interact Club. I started doing extra curriculum. I started doing stuff. Pehले it was online, and then it was about to be online when I was in 11th because the COVID was reducing. Then I was made the joint secretary of Interact Club, and to be very honest, it was a bit motivating. It was a bit demotivating for me because I had worked my ass off to be the president, right? So
yeah.
when the results were out, of course, I was very demotivated, but I was very angry because
Ah,
सबसे पहले I thought it wasn't fair. I'm no one to say whether it was fair or not, but that was something that I felt like. So the next very day, I left Interact Club, which, to be very honest, I thought I will regret it later because Interact Club, you'll get like Rotary like Rotary covered certificates, whatever, which tend to matter a lot.
yeah.
I left Interact Club. I remember talking to the teacher in charge. She called me up at 1 a.m. Like, कृतिक पागल हो गए हो, Interact Club क्यों छोड़ रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो, वगैरह वगैरह.
Uh,
Everything will fall apart, whatever. I was
mm,
like, अच्छा ठीक है. I didn't care then because I was already in the Helping Hands organization. One thing that happened, which I found it was quite funny, is कि when I left Interact Club, a lot of students who were working with me under me, they also started leaving. Ki if Kritik bhai is not here, we'll also not be here. That's when I wanted that there should be a place for all of these students, to work, to actually enjoy what they are doing, and that's how I started the Streetbark organization. When we started, we were feeding about 80 dogs every single day. Today, we're in about 5 states all across India. Hopefully, I'm working on a project on opening a branch in Pakistan as well. And we're feeding about
mm,
12,000 animals every single day. Our team all
wow.
across these 5 states, we're feeding animals every single day. And our next motive is to, build small animal sheds all across India. So this is what our next project will be. We're building 1,000 animal sheds for all the strays. Just getting a roof for them all
Yeah.
across India. We'll be starting this in the start of April as well, after my board's end.
Yeah. So, I'm just interested. What is your current position in Street Park? Are
I'm
you
the I'm the
president, CEO,
founder and the president of
founder?
Streetbark. Yeah, and yeah, I've been this from the very start.
Is your high school supportive, or like do they support this organization? Is it part of the school, or are you doing it outside of your school?
This organization, obviously, I started this because I was in a bit of a rough position with my school because of the Interact Club. I started this on my own, and then we went to a few bigger organizations who tend to sponsor us and etc. But now my high school, obviously, they're very proud that yeah, our student is
Yeah.
doing this, our student is doing this, and because of
Mm,
Streetback, recently I got like a national award, which was a very big deal, especially for a school. So
yeah.
that's why now I like to think that they're pretty happy. So yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Like no, it's like Street Park is had so much success. You also had success with Izhaar Foundation. Izhaar Foundation. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Can you talk to us about it, please?
Okay. Like I said, throughout my eighth grade, I was very much into acting and nukkad natak and street plays with my school. So when I realized that my school was about to end, and during COVID also, there was no more of going outside, like going to school and doing actually the nukkad nataks or the theater or whatever. So I was very bummed. I was like, "Ab to yaar, I won't be able to do these." Then
Mm,
I thought if I cannot do this in school, why not do this outside of school?
outs-
That's how I started the Izhaar Foundation. It's comparatively a very, very small organization, especially compared to Streetbug. It's like a baby organization. That's
mm,
how I address it as. Because there is a lot of potential, and due to exams and all of this, I just didn't have the time
yeah.
to focus that much on it. We've done a few plays about menstrual hygiene and bullying in my school even, and in small villages in Gurugram. But yeah, I would love to expand this once I have more time for it.
Right. Uh, Another thing, before we talk about Bifrost, is one of the bigger topics I want to talk about since it's one of your more successful organizations. I've always wondered, running through so many things, you have school, you have your extracurriculars, you have your exams. How do you manage your time? Can you tell us some of your tips?
Yeah, of course. The thing is, I don't. Alright,
Mm,
I'm not a very studious student. Of course, like a day before exam, I sit, I scroll through YouTube, I watch a few videos, and that's pretty much it. Because to be very honest, this is something that happened to me in my board practical as well. It was my business
yeah,
studies practical, and she asked me a few questions about management and stuff through the project I had made, and I knew nothing. I was like this, that, this, and like, do you even study? And then say,
mm,
yes, ma'am, I actually study, but and then she, just through our conversation, I managed to bring Streetbark in, and she was very interested in the topic. So we started
yeah,
discussing about that, and then it was a very funny experience because I was feeling that practical, and then we actually started talking about feedback, and then I
yeah,
referred the management she was talking about to the management of the organizations that I'm actually doing right now. So she was
yeah,
very impressed. She ended up googling my name on Google, and then there was a picture of me with like some award, and she was very impressed. She just scrolled through it, and I ended up getting full marks. But yeah, Varna, I do
yeah.
try to study whenever I can. I do have, like now my boards are going on, so I study for most of the time. And I'm on a
Yeah.
break from my organizations, but I'm just waiting for the boards to end so I can start focusing there more. All right.
Kritik, Kritik, you are a founding member of Bifrost. This is one of your bigger organizations. Tell us about your up and downs. What, when did you start? What has your journey been like with Bifrost?
All right, perfect. So, what happened was I was in the Helping Hands NGO for quite a while, and the founder of the NGO, Arjun Chopra, I think he just came with an idea, which was Bifrost EdTech. I'll come on the idea in a while. And at the time, I was one of the core members of the Helping Hands NGO, right? So that's when he discussed it with me, this is what I'm doing, this is what the future will be. And when I started my work in Bifrost, I started as the secretary, then I was made the director center of excellence, and now I am the and now I'm the CSO of Bifrost. But Bifrost is something which have been there from the very start, right? The idea of Bifrost basically, when we first started, is and still is basically was like a one-stop shop for a student's portfolio. When Arjun was telling this idea to all of us, to the team, what I liked the most about it was because I'm a student myself, right? And there was a time when I was thinking of going abroad for my college, and being a student at that time when I was in 11th, when I was in 12th, it was very scary. सबसे पहले, it's a very expensive process, right? So there are a lot of students in India who want to go abroad, but they don't even dream of it. Why? Because the counselor is very expensive. Then
Yeah,
counselors aren't very helpful. All a counselor
yeah,
tells you is to just this is the university, search कर लो, मन है तो apply कर
yeah,
दो. क्यों कैसे? It's a very hectic process, right?
yeah,
Then there comes the second, because for a student's exam, so we cannot do anything. We're not like a tuition teacher, like sort of stuff. Lekin, a lot of students do lack on their extracurriculars, right? A lot of students do lack on their portfolios. There is nothing, and the reason for that isn't कि student नहीं करना चाहता. The reason is there is no opportunity for a student, right?
yeah,
Me being a student, was no opportunity for me to go and start in something in an annual welfare organization in day two. There wasn't a big opportunity for me to go and start doing street plays अलग अलग जगह जाकर. which is quite sad. So that's how
It
Bifrost was
is.
started. A place full of opportunities.
So you
This
have
was the
tutoring.
idea
Yeah.
behind the resume.
So yeah. So one of the services is tutoring, and the other one is
No, okay,
supporting.
so
Yeah. Go ahead.
no, I said that we are not tuition teachers. We're not, right? So we're not focusing on your school grades. Right?
Um,
Bifrost is mainly like a one-stop shop for a student portfolio. Here you
oh,
can come for like right now our company is going through its reconstruction. So after that, once it's done, and Abhi basically, this was a place where you can come to enhance your portfolio. One, and
yeah.
now, once your company is focusing on much bigger and surprising things, which will be out within like 2 months or something. But our main aim is basically to be a stop shop for every student's portfolio.
Mm. So basically, students who want to improve their portfolios come to Bifrost, and you guys basically build up their resumes. Is that what it is?
Yeah, exactly. What we do is, if even if right now you go to different places to actually build up your resume, including internshalas, everything you'll do will be in front or will require you and a computer, right? You just
Yeah.
sitting in front of a computer and doing something, whatever. The thing is, and the biggest problem with this is, especially due to COVID-19, everyone is going virtual, right? धीरे धीरे
Yeah.
करके classes are now virtual. Even now, when there is no COVID outside, there is no threat
Yeah.
because of Corona right now. A lot of tuition teachers now they prefer to teach online because now they're sitting in Gurgaon, they're teaching someone who's sitting in Gujarat.
Yeah.
Right? So this is obviously it's more convenient.
Yeah.
But especially due to COVID, what happened was everyone became less social. Everyone,
Mm.
who had 20 friends, the number reduced down to two or four friends, right? Everyone
Yeah.
became less social. Everyone was covered in their own bubble. And to be
Yeah.
very honest, it isn't the healthiest environment to be in, right? We need to go outside to interact with other people, etc., etc. So what Bifrost also does is, the events that are happening under Bifrost, there are different events for different things, including, let's say, if there is a stray feeding drive or if there is a menstrual education health drive. What we do is a day or two prior to the event, everyone who is going to the event, we meet, we sit, we practice what we're about to do, and
Mm.
what happens, one of the plus points of this is basically if I am a student, right, and I want to do something, let's say I want to do something regarding plantation, right? I want to go and I want to plant more trees and stuff. What I'll do is through Bifrost, we'll be able to organize an event where other students like myself of my age group, of my locality and thoda sa आसपास के दूर दूर you can travel, will meet. सबसे पहले we'll create a bond. We'll be able to be more extroverts and we'll be able to just have fun while we're enhancing our portfolios. So we're
Yeah.
not just improving your portfolio, we're filling you
Building
up with
relationships.
memories. You're having a lot of fun.
Mm.
Yeah, you're building up relationships. It's a lot of fun. The
Yeah.
event also, which Izhaar organization did in collaboration with one of Bifrost's
Yeah.
organization. The
Mm.
organization was Bidag. It's about menstrual hygiene. So we did like a few street plays on menstrual hygiene in different villages in Gurgaon, and it was an amazing experience. I still
Mm.
talk to those people who I met about 6 months ago because it was so fun. And now we're planning to do more after exams, obviously.
Definitely. Now it makes sense. So Bifrost is just it's not just constricted to your grades or your portfolio. Rather, you guys are focusing on building experiences and relationships. It's wonderful. Uh, so with having running these
Yeah.
successful organizations comes with a lot of marketing, comes with outreach. How do you guys? What are you guys' plan to let everybody know about Bifrost, who you guys are? So what do you guys do to make sure that everybody knows what the vision and the purpose behind Bifrost is?
Okay, all right. So, when we started Bifrost, Arjun
Mhm.
was already running the Helping Hands NGO. I was already a part of the THH NGO. So when we started Bifrost, we had a step forward because there was a database ready. But
Mhm.
speaking of marketing, of course, there are a lot of things that are planned right now. There are some which I'm not allowed to speak on an open platform yet. But
Yeah.
basically, we're reaching more and more people. And, basically, one of the strongest things that has helped Bifrost is, I think, the word of mouth. Because
Mm.
once you do an event under Bifrost with Bifrost, the experience you're filled with, it's extraordinary. It's a very fun thing, and you'll want to do more with your friends, and yeah, that's basically it. So that's
Yeah.
how we're growing.
Yeah. Definitely. You guys have almost
And
yeah. Mhm. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, of
Go ahead.
course, you can,
So Bifrost,
yeah.
guys, if you guys, to those who are watching, Bifrost has about, I think, 10,000 followers, if I'm not mistaken, on Instagram. So make sure you guys follow. I'll have the link in the description. Go ahead, Kritik. You're mentioning something.
Yeah, and I meant for say Streetbark, which is an organization which is entirely a non-profit organization, right? It
Yeah.
focuses on animal welfare, etc. So to grow there, what we've also done is, along with collaborating with certain say influencers who are also willing to help us to reach more people, we collaborate with already pre-existing organizations just get through,
Yeah.
there is like a bit interchange
Huh.
of the
Uh,
interns. Then will
yeah.
because what happens is collaborating with another organization, right, which has already been there for a longer period of time. We gain a lot of experience, right?
Mm.
Through that,
Yeah.
we'll also be able to make our organization better, and just when more people do come here, they'll have a better environment, basically.
Yeah. Both brother Yar, you have given all your amazing experience, your organizations. You have gotten an award from the Education Minister of India. It must have been a very big proud moment for you, your family. Talk to us how did that come to reality? How were you able to do it? How were you actually notified about that you were getting this award?
Okay, so I remember it was, I think my pre-boards were nearby and we were just going through some of our pre-board practicals. And I remember coming to school, I was just sitting with one of my friends. A girl comes up to me and says, कि तेको government of India से award मिल रहा है. And of course, I thought she was joking because
Oh,
firstly, I had not applied anywhere. Second, if I was the one getting a award, I would have received a mail or a phone call or something. And she was, नहीं नहीं तेरे को मिल रहा है and break में go talk to this dude. I was thinking कि वो ऐसे ही बोल रही है and it slipped my mind completely. After break, some student comes up to me, he calls me, he takes me to the coordinator, and then she was like, "Hey, Kritik, this." I still remember the mail. I asked the teacher to print it and give me like a printout of it because it was so, of course it was like a very amazing thing to achieve, right? Of course I was tremendously happy, but I was very confused ki who applied because no one applied it, right? I don't know from where. I
yeah,
think they probably have some databases or something. It was
yeah,
just immediately Kritik Kasturi is receiving it. I think the award was National Student Charms Award. And once I got the award, there was, a student, a college student, who was helping with all the procedures. So I called her up and I was like, can you just tell me how many students, because this is an award which a bunch of students are awarded with every year. So I went to Radisson Blue and I got my award वगैरह वगैरह. And then I asked her कि किन किन students को मिला है. And she was just reading me, she was just taking me through the list, and साथ में she was saying where the students are from. So every student was either doing a MBA or he was doing something regarding he was getting a bachelor's degree. And it turns
Yeah.
out, when she just ran through the list, up tak in history, whoever students have received this award, I was the youngest student ever to receive this award at the age of 16,
Wow.
which was very which felt very nice. So, yeah, it was good.
Definitely. It's
And
definitely,
this
yeah.
was more importantly, yeah, and more importantly, this was very motivating because
Mm.
that makes me want to work more because I never
Keep
had
going.
key,
Yeah.
you can receive something like this for doing whatever you are doing. I was doing
Yeah.
whatever because at first I started to build my portfolio. Yeah,
Mm. Definitely. Like an award this big motivates you to keep going. It's definitely a motivator because I can tell you from experience, I was invited to give a talk in Hyderabad
yeah,
for English House Academy in front of 400 people. And it was basically a competition, and I received first place for this competition, and I got an award, and that award has motivated me to keep on going. It's definitely a big motivator. Kritik, thank you so much, man. Can you, before we end this session, can you give us some, can you give us some tips to
that's
the to the aspiring entrepreneurs out there who are trying to achieve big things in your lives?
yeah, it was सबसे पहले I'll congratulate you for winning the award. And I think exactly because a lot of people they're just running towards awards. And to be very honest, in the start of Bifrost, one of my colleagues got a mention in some sort of magazine, like top 50 or something. And I was like, that's pretty cool, but how did you do it? How can I get that? And of course, she wasn't very transparent. No one would be. And I ended up just thinking, कि यार okay मेरे को तो मिलेगा नहीं. And then I just stopped thinking about it and just started working. And I ended up receiving an award from the education minister and then an award from the chief minister.
Mm.
So Kejriwal.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Kritik. Before we end this session off, do you have a message for the upcoming entrepreneurs who are trying to achieve big things in their lives? If you have a couple things to say, then we'll wrap up with this.
All right. So to be very honest, I think I will be one. I hopefully I will be one of the upcoming entrepreneurs because right now, so obviously we've just started, and to be very honest, the only thing I would like to tell is, कि there aren't as many opportunities out there, right? Because I'm a guy who is very influenced by watching speeches, like watching Bill Gates say something, watching Jeff Bezos say something, and they all used to say, "कि I saw this opportunity and I grabbed it. I saw this कौन सी opportunity यार मेरे को भी चाहिए." And I looked for it, and it was nowhere to be found. Right. So the
Mm,
advice is to create your own opportunity, and
right.
that's pretty much it. Because if you learn how to create an opportunity for not only yourself but for people like you, you'll grow automatically. And hopefully that's what I'm trying to do as well.
Thank you, Kritik. It was wonderful having
That's
you
it.
on the
That's
show. I, I'm hoping that the viewers have also enjoyed the show. Uh, guys, I'll be linking down some of the links of Kritik's works, such as Bifrost and whatnot. So make sure to take a look. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, Kritik. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for having me.